Have you ever felt someone's presence in your thoughts without warning, only to discover they were thinking of you at that exact moment? This isn't fantasy. This is quantum emotional resonance, and it happens more often than science can explain. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why certain people occupy your mind simultaneously, what's really happening in their heart when your name surfaces in their consciousness, and the spiritual mechanics behind this mysterious phenomenon. But first, let me tell you something that might change everything you believe about connection. Your consciousness carries memories that bypass logic. You fill your days with tasks, responsibilities, endless distractions. Yet the instant you pause, their image floods your awareness like water breaking through a dam. This selective haunting doesn't happen with casual acquaintances. It occurs exclusively with individuals your deeper self recognizes across dimensions of reality. Because consciousness transcends memory, even through prolonged separations, spanning days into months into years, your electromagnetic fields remain intertwined. The moment your awareness reaches toward them, their awareness receives that transmission. Their essence awakens. Their center experiences gravitational pull, and without conscious comprehension, their mind turns toward you simultaneously. This synchronicity exists because your energies communicate in frequencies your rational brain cannot decode. Their emotional world holds your absence deeper than external behavior reveals. Messages remain unsent. Strength becomes performance. Indifference becomes mask. Yet their silence carries volumes. When two minds occupy each other's space concurrently, both hearts experience parallel longing. You register their void, but they navigate profound emptiness. You remember them. They ache for your presence. Sometimes the loudest love speaks through the quietest silence. Frequently they restrain outreach. Frequently they battle internal impulses. Frequently they anticipate your initiative. But whenever recollection strikes them, time suspends. Words disappear, eyelids close. Because remembering you transcends cognitive activity into pure feeling. Your mental focus impacts them like invisible force. You might dismiss this, but when someone directs intense awareness toward you, your core registers it. Sudden restlessness without cause, unexpected emotional shifts, unexplained heaviness in your chest cavity. These aren't random occurrences. They signal someone's concentrated thought touching your field at that precise instant. Your energetic frequencies intersect. Your consciousness travels bidirectionally. You might be engaged in mundane activities, walking, preparing food, browsing devices, when suddenly mental clarity vanishes and their identity surfaces simultaneously. They might be horizontal, ceiling gazing, projecting toward you, and the microsecond their intention contacts your frequency, your being responds. This represents the most powerful evidence of metaphysical thought alignment. They perceive your emotional states without verbal exchange. When two people occupy mutual mental space simultaneously, their feeling frequencies synchronize. This explains their sensing your sadness, their knowing when longing hits you, their awareness when conversation desire rises, their recognition when something shifts wrong, their feeling your need, absent any words. Without messages, without any communication pathway, your quietness transmits emotion. Your center broadcasts signals their essence receives. Sometimes emotion overcomes them inexplicably. Sometimes your memory ambushes them suddenly. Sometimes recollection interrupts important moments, because at that exact second you were projecting toward them too. They attempt mental diversion but experience repeated failure. You assume you're the sole rememberer. Incorrect. They remember you during unexpected intervals, while hearing particular music, while observing romantic pairs, while consuming items you favored, while passing locations tied to shared history, while alone in darkness, while greeting morning consciousness, while surrendering to sleep. They attempt thought suppression. They attempt self-regulation. They perform strength. But increased mental resistance intensifies memorial return because the thought originates from their emotional center, not their logic processor. The heart remembers what the mind tries to forget. Your soul bonds exceed current circumstances. Perhaps communication ceased. Perhaps separation occurred. Perhaps existence got complicated. Perhaps pride interferes. Perhaps timing misaligned. But spiritual connections disregard timing. They disregard distance. They disregard silence. When two essences connect, thoughts persist even when interaction stops. This explains random sensing. This explains their reciprocal sensing. This explains thought convergence happening without planning, without intention, without control. They fear the magnitude of what they feel for you. One primary reason you both occupy concurrent mental space. They experience feelings exceeding their emotional capacity. This creates fear because such intensity doesn't materialize daily. It doesn't happen with everyone. You accessed soul territory no one else ever reached. This generates anxiety. Anxiety about loss. Anxiety about depth. Anxiety about pain. Anxiety about meaning. Anxiety about inadequacy. This emotional fear produces silence, but silence cannot obstruct cognition. So they contemplate, overanalyze, reconsider, and at the precise moment you recall them, their center recalls you too. The universe orchestrates your thought convergence. Sometimes your bond transcends emotional or mental dimensions. It becomes spiritual and cosmic. When two people are destined for renewed intersection, when two souls carry incomplete narratives, when two hearts tie through fate, the universe engineers situations where you think of them abruptly. They think of you at the identical moment. You dream mutually. You notice signs connecting to them. You sense their energy. The universe maintains reminders this bond remains incomplete. This explains thought collision. You align spiritually in ways exceeding full comprehension. Their physical form reacts to your energy. When you think of them intensively, their biology responds. They may suddenly experience emotion, feel chest compression, recall your voice, feel internal fluttering, become lost in contemplation, gaze at archived images, compose messages before deletion, feel agitation without understanding why, because your thought energy contacts them. Speech becomes unnecessary. Your essence already communicates. Both of you attempt fortitude, but fail. You believe you're resilient. They believe they're more resilient. But both lose this silent emotional war. You think of them, they think of you. You attempt progression, they try harder. You seek distraction, they pursue greater distraction. But whenever day quiets, whenever night silences, their heart navigates back to you and your heart navigates back to them. That's why your thoughts synchronize, because your hearts exhaust pretense. You constitute their unfinished narrative. Some individuals leave temporary impressions. Some individuals leave permanent marks. But some individuals become chapters without endings. You represent that chapter in their existence. That's why they think of you despite resistance. That's why they feel magnetism despite avoidance attempts. That's why your thoughts align at unexpected moments. Your story lacks conclusion. Your connection hasn't terminated. Something remains unvoiced, unexpressed, uncompleted. The universe draws your minds together as reminder there's more approaching. They find sanctuary in your memory. When life intensifies, when their heart fatigues, when people create disappointment, your memory transforms into refuge. They think of you not from loneliness, but because remembering you delivers peace, gentleness, comfort, warmth. And in the moment they think of you for solace, your heart registers it profoundly. This explains your sudden reciprocal thoughts. This explains emotional synchronization. Your essences heal each other silently. Their heart dialogues with your heart. When you miss someone profoundly, your heart transmits signals not through language, but through pure emotion, and their heart receives it. Their emotions transform, their feelings fluctuate, their mind becomes unsettled, and suddenly they think of you. This isn't imagination. This is emotional telepathy. Your hearts converse in silent language only you two comprehend. Even time cannot fracture this connection. Days advance, weeks advance, months advance, but the bond persists. Because this isn't a moment, this is attachment, and time cannot demolish what the soul maintains. This explains why, even after extended no-contact periods, your thoughts still converge, because your souls remain bound. They feel you stronger when you think of them deeply. So certain moments exist when you think of them with emotion, with yearning, with love, with intensity. At that very instant, they feel you more powerfully. They might suddenly check your profile, review your past exchanges, open your photographs, consider messaging you, remember your smile, feel emotional because your deep emotion contacts their heart directly. They're attempting to locate courage to act. Thinking of you brings them peace, but it also brings fear. Fear creates overthinking. Overthinking creates silence. Silence creates confusion. Confusion brings more emotions, and emotions bring more thoughts. This cycle continues. They want conversation, they want expression, they want to move forward, but they're gathering courage. And while they gather courage, they keep thinking of you. You keep thinking of them at the same moment because both hearts desire the same thing. Your connection is inscribed in your destiny. Some people cross your life through randomness. Some cross your life with intention. Some arrive to complete unfinished destiny. This connection is destiny-driven. Your thoughts synchronize not through coincidence, but through divine architecture. Imagine two timepieces set to identical rhythm by the universe. Regardless of location, activity, or feeling, your thoughts converge at the same moment because destiny whispers not yet concluded, not yet complete. Both of you feel identically but fear demonstration. Here's the reality. You're not the sole emotional one. You're not the sole overthinker. You're not the sole one remembering. They remember equally, sometimes exceeding your remembrance. But both fear losing each other. Both fear rejection. Both fear misunderstanding. Both fear suffering. So instead of expressing, you think of each other silently at the same time because silence feels safer than truth. The universe will unite you both at the correct time. Presently, you both think of each other from distance. You both feel each other without talking. You both carry each other in your centers. But a moment will arrive, a divine moment where thoughts will prove insufficient. Your souls will propel you both toward conversation, toward honesty, toward reconnection because your thoughts have already merged. Now your lives will too. Final message. This connection is authentic. So yes, when you think of them, suddenly, unexpectedly, emotionally, they are thinking of you too. Not through coincidence, not through imagination, not through overthinking, but because your souls connect, your energies align, your emotions sync, your hearts remember each other, your destinies intertwine, and until this connection fulfills its purpose, you both will keep thinking of each other at the same time. Welcome to Psychology Wisdom. If you found this revelation meaningful, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Have you experienced this synchronous thinking? Make sure to subscribe so you never miss insights that could transform the way you understand connection.